you ever watched a real estate deal unfold and thought, what the hell is actually going on here? One minute you're under contract, the next people are crying, a dog's running through the office, and somehow your cousin's ex is on the title? This is real life. And this is exactly why I started this podcast. Welcome to Closing Time Chronicles, where we talk all things real estate, title, chaos, and closings. I'm Allie Tabor, and today I'm flying solo to share my why behind the show, the mission driving it, and where we're headed. So, again, if you're new here, again, my name is Allie Tabor, and I started this podcast because I work at Legacy Title. But it's not the boring, stiff kind of title. It's the kind of title where we like to rescue deals, bring snacks, and sometimes a little prayer. I started this podcast because I have a lot of friends who just have no idea real estate. They hear advice from their mom, their dad, their uncle who bought a house 7 years ago, and it's really kind of put a negative impact on this industry as a whole. So I have sat through enough closings to know that a lot of people don't even know what title is or why it matters. And I get it. It's not sexy. There's no Netflix show, but it's necessary. So the overall goal of Closing Time Chronicles is simple: humanizing the process, real estate as a whole, and to highlight the pros working behind the scenes. They have been in it for years and years, and sometimes they hide the fires that you don't even know about when you're in a transaction. So I think those are really great stories to tell. And we're educating people without boring you to tears, hopefully. Behind every transaction is a story: joy, stress, new beginnings, and relief. Real estate is personal, and title is where all of those things kind of collide. I may be newer to the industry itself, but that still gives me a really good perspective. I remember what it was like to be a new agent and not understand any of it. So I thought, let's make it make sense, right? The math always math. So if we talk about it in plain language and we tell the stories and the wins and the chaos and everything in between, then maybe you sitting at home who have no idea, never bought a house, never sold a house, maybe you won't think it's so scary. I don't know. I'm just a girl. I do believe that knowledge is power. And in real estate, it's peace of mind. I don't believe that no news is good news. And so sometimes I over communicate. But my mission is to give people the clarity they deserve during one of the biggest decisions of their lives. We're championing the professionals who make it happen day in and day out. And to remind us the stories that this is not just business, it's absolutely personal. Closings aren't just paperwork. They're life-changing, they're fresh starts, dream homes, and long-awaited milestones. And while I'm still early in my career as far as title is involved, that doesn't mean I've forgotten what it's like to feel lost in the process. And that drives me. I want people to feel confident and informed and empowered. So if there's anything that you need to know, let's dig into the top three. Number one, title is like Spanx. Yes, I wear Spanx. Yes. You can't see it, but it's doing a lot of the work behind the scenes. Title insurances exist to make sure that the person selling the home actually owns it, and then no one can pop up later with the claim that they own this home. It's basically a legal background check on the property. It's not glamorous, but it protects one of the biggest investments of your life. That's why title insurance is so important. Go back to Chad Reynolds' episode if you haven't listened to it yet. Number two, your agent, lender, and title team should work like a group chat. The best closings happen when your people are in sync, sharing updates, solving problems, and definitely not ghosting each other. A silent lender or a title team that shows up at the end, red flag, flag on the play. You want a team that is productive and proactive and responsive and maybe a little bit nosy, but that's what we're here for. Go back to Ryan Mott, Kisha Hayes, Kamal Hayes. They'll all tell you the same thing: communication. Third, closings are emotional. Let them be. I've seen tears of joy, heartbreak, first timers, newlyweds, and people starting over. It's a really big moment, and it's okay to feel that way. Our job is to be the steady hands, the calm energy, and throw in some humor when needed. Or if you're Chad, all the time. Okay, so one of my favorite stories is we had this family come in and we sit everybody in the first closing room, and the mom and the agent kind of step out to the side and grab myself and the title attorney. And she said, the kids don't know. They don't know we're buying a house. It's been 3 years. I was scared to tell them. There's so many things that happened. The first time it didn't fall through. It's been 3 years. So we signed the paperwork, we go in, and I got to walk in with a happy home buyer sign. And that's when everybody knew, oh my God, mom just bought a house. And I could still tear up thinking about this story. Like, it was so beautiful. Her parents were there. Her dad knows, so they had the camera ready too. We even put one of our own people in there, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and it's one of those things. It's like, this is why we do it. And so, if I have any advice to somebody who may be in similar shoes, ask the dumb questions. They're not dumb. Somebody's going to help you get there, even if it does take you 3 years. And if they don't help you, they're not the person for you. A good real estate team knows they want to be there to ask your questions. You're not supposed to know everything. That's what we go for. That's what we're here for. So ask the questions, advocate yourself. And if you need to ask it twice, because the right person will never make you feel stupid. So, okay, we're going to try something a little different here. So I had some friends send me some Q&A. So I'm going to go through these a little quickly because I want your agent and your lender to answer these better. But broad overview, what are some hidden costs that first-time home buyers should be prepared for? Deposit. Whenever you make a contract or write an offer on a home, you're going to put a good faith deposit, $500 to $1,000. Your lender or your realtor will advise you what that price is. Sometimes additional inspections are required. You have your appraisal and, of course, closing costs. Those are things that you can try to get wrapped into your loan, but they'll tell you more specifics. For someone who's trying to buy a home in a competitive market, I am a huge fan of Dear Seller letters. It humanizes the process and it helps you to stand out. Your agent can tell you more about that. Or if you want to know more, let me know. Maybe I'll even make another episode talking about these things. Why do you need a realtor instead of Zillow? It's not a bad question, but it's such a sign of the times. Like, yes, Zillow is great for window shopping, but when it comes to actually navigating deals, writing an offer, negotiating repairs, understanding the market, how do you know you're not getting totally bamboozled? You want a professional in your corner who have done this time and time again. Think of it this way. You wouldn't just perform a surgery on yourself just because WebMD has diagrams. A realtor isn't just opening doors. They're advocating for you. They're spotting the red flags and they're helping you stay sane in a very high stakes process. So keep sending your questions my way, especially the weird ones. Nothing's off limits. And if I don't answer, I will find someone who does, or I'll drag them onto this podcast so they can tell you. Okay, here's what I want every buyer and every seller to know. Ask the silly questions. There are no silly questions. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Work with people you trust. Easy peasy. Ask referrals. If you ever need a referral, I'm happy. Keep your paperwork organized. It just keeps, when the mind's organized, everything's organized, right? You know that. Know your timeline and stay flexible. You know what works for you. Communicate that with your team. Don't panic over hiccups. They happen. It's 100% normal. And most of the time, they've worked through it. And please, please, please do not trust Google. Talk to us. That's why we're here. Real estate will humble you. Deals will fall through. Things get delayed. People cry. People cheer. People forget their IDs. They bring their dogs. They show up in pajamas. You just roll with it. To my industry friends, take the extra 5 minutes to explain. Empower your clients. Be the calm in the chaos. And it matters. We know it does. It's why we do this. To my clients, you don't need to know everything. But don't be afraid to speak up. This is your journey. Own it. And be so proud that you got here. That's it for today's solo episode. I just want to pull back the curtain a little bit, share a little bit of my heart, and hopefully leave you with something useful. But if you've got a wild closing story, send it my way. I would love to feature listener moments on the pod. So I'll actually give you a funny story before we leave here today. During one of my very first showings, one of my very first transactions, I don't think I'd even written an offer yet. I was showing a house and we were walking by the pool. And sure enough, I'm pulling up the property disclosure to check if the pool house had flooded. Because I knew the main house didn't. I'm like, great question. Let's go through it. What do? Drop my phone. And it bounces once, it bounces twice, and it bounces a third time into the pool. And it's a cold day. It's not a warm day. It's freaking freezing. And I'm in a white shirt. So luckily, my kind buyer went around the block so I could jump in, grab what I needed to. And thankfully I had a jacket in the car. Everything was fine. And I still went to 3 more showings that day. And we wrote an offer on that house. So whatever happens, happens. Chaos, whatever. I was soaking wet, but I still made the deal happen. So it is what it is. But if you're an agent and or a lender or a home inspector or an investor or just somebody who maybe wants to come talk to me and yap for an hour, come on. I would love to have more guests on the show. This has been such a passion project for me, and I have the company behind me who backs me and who just loves this. And so if you're an agent or somebody who uses legacy title, or even just somebody who's like, hey, Allie, I saw you on social media and I would love to talk to you, reach out to me directly. I would love, love, love to have more people on my show. And just remember, the closing table may be the start of the deal, but it's just the start of your story. So we look forward to creating a legacy with you, and we can't wait to see you guys at the closing table soon. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye.